to Port Arthur after 7 years. What we know about its return.
Plus, it's not just locals celebrating the news. Downtown Port Arthur businesses buzzing with excitement, how it could boost the local economy.
And Mardi Gras Southeast Texas says next year's Beaumont celebrations are completely separate from PA's. How the two festivals will differ. 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. 7 o'clock right now, so let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber as we take a quick live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network here above Beaumont. Jeff Gerber standing by with the forecast.
And it's chilly this morning. If you're just getting ready to step out the door, grab a jacket. Temperatures right now in the 40s, from 43 in Jasper now, 45 in Kirbyville, 47 in Silsbee. Beaumont and Orange at 48. Port Arthur showing 51, and we're right at 50 in Woodville. So, yeah, definitely a little bit on the chilly side. Take a look from our 12 News studio as we look down I-10. Looks like traffic's going along smoothly this morning. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing for part of our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. You can see clear skies out there right now, and we'll see mostly clear skies as we go through the afternoon. Now, by the time we get towards mid-mornings, about 9 o'clock, we'll be close to 60, lower 70s at lunchtime, and then we'll get up into the upper 70s today. Maybe 80 degrees in the lakes area. So we'll jump another 10 degrees as far as afternoon highs. Be nice and warm today. Warm over the weekend, expecting highs still in the 80s. We'll have your 7-day forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Port Arthur never forgot about you, and that we are working hard to bring something we deserve to back. And guess what? Back to downtown Port Arthur. That's right. It's going to be back in downtown Port Arthur, bigger and better, and we are looking forward to an amazing time.
Beads, parades, and king cake. Port Arthur is bringing Mardi Gras back after 7 long years. And you just heard Port Arthur Mayor Charlotte Moses sharing new details on Facebook Live last night. And it's the first time that a Port Arthur official has gone on the record. The mayor saying that the parade is going to return downtown. She received unanimous approval from the Convention and Visitors Bureau yesterday afternoon. And she said this time the parade is going to be under local control. Now, since we first broke this story on Daybreak yesterday morning, residents, they have taken to social media expressing excitement about the festival's return to their community.
12 News reporter Spencer Plato spoke with locals about what it means to see Mardi Gras back in PA.
Bringing life back to downtown will be a good thing for Port Arthur.
People enjoyed coming out. I did. And lots of friends that I know came. People from other cities around came.
That excitement spreading fast after 12 News broke this story first Wednesday morning. Social media continues lighting up, with viewers sharing memories and calling for Mardi Gras' return to Port Arthur.
I was going since I was a little kid, and we really need that back down here in this area to brighten it up a little bit more.
It started as 12 News found documents on the city's page revealing detailed plans, prompting viewers to weigh in with their reactions. Later that afternoon, leaders met behind closed doors to present the idea. 12 News was there as the meeting wrapped up, but leaders told us they have no statement at this time, as the proposal is still being worked through. Coming up March 24th, leaders are expected to discuss at the City Council meeting. The proposal explores a city-led Mardi Gras celebration, separate from the event in Beaumont, with a possible return as early as 2027. In those documents, city leaders say the goal is to boost tourism and bring more economic activity back to Port Arthur. And the proposal would put the Convention and Visitors Bureau in charge of organizing the Mardi Gras event. Now, many want it back where it started.
I love to take my kids are older now, but I have a granddaughter now, so I love for her to experience it. But we all experience as children the happiness, the joy of Mardi Gras Port Arthur.
For some, it's about bringing the tradition back to the next generation.
City Council, y'all need to go ahead and make that happen, because we, as my peer group and age, we all talk about it like we really want that back.
That was Spencer Plato reporting. Now that the CVB has approved, the item will head to City Council next Tuesday.
And it's not just residents who are excited about Mardi Gras returning to Port Arthur. Downtown businesses, they are eager for the economic boost that this festival would bring. Business owners, they say that they missed the days of when downtown was full of customers, boosting the local economy. And longtime businesses like Jaws Barbecue, they felt the impact when the event left Port Arthur with fewer customers coming through the doors. But now, with Mardi Gras returning, they are hoping for that boost again. One of the owners says that when the celebration was in town, it always meant a guaranteed spike in business.
I gain a lot more customers, and I am the only barbecue around here, so people support me a lot. But after they take away the Mardi Gras from here, we don't get that support anymore.
And with Mardi Gras gone for the last 7 years, it's not only existing businesses that need the support. Newcomer Darlene's Market and Cafe, they plan to put their food on display for festival goers.
I think if it came back to Port Arthur for 2027, we have an opportunity to have other folks sample our food, draw them to our location more. As you see, we're getting ready to put up a building now, so it give them an opportunity to sample our stuff prior to that.
And if all goes to plan, we could see Mardi Gras back in Port Arthur next year.
In Beaumont, we heard from Laura Childress with Mardi Gras Southeast Texas Wednesday. She clarified that the organization is entirely separate from anything being planned in Port Arthur next year.
It is a totally independent organization that is proposing to hold a festival in Port Arthur and has no affiliation with our nonprofit organization or the charities that we support.
Childress says planning for their event in Beaumont in 2027 will start soon, where they will address concerns from this year's celebration at Fort Park and work to mitigate factors that were problematic.
All right, we got some breaking news here. Beaumont police, they've confirmed to 12 News that all 4 intersections of Walden Road and Finette Road, they are shut down due to an accident. Now, our crew on the scene saw 2 18-wheelers crashed into each other. We're not aware of any injuries at this time, and police, they have advised that they do not know when the intersection of Walden and Finette Road will reopen, so expect delays. Find an alternate route this morning.
At 7:07, if you have a warrant in Beaumont for certain misdemeanors, you'll soon have a chance to clear it.
The amnesty program in the city of Beaumont is a voluntary program that allows our defendants to come in without being arrested. Once they see one of our clerks or our judge, they're able to take their warrant fee off, which is typically about $50 every time you get a warrant. So you'll take your warrant fee off, you'll be able to see a judge or a clerk.
The program runs from March 23rd to April 10th. You can pay your warrants by phone or online, but you have to go to the municipal court in person to get your fee waived.
All right, it's time to ask the judge. You submitted your legal questions and we've got answers. 12 News evening anchor Nick Canizales spoke with Judge Randy Shelton to tackle some of your most pressing legal concerns.
It is now time to turn our attention to legal matters. It's part of our commitment to putting Southeast Texas first. Let's ask the judge and get answers to some of your questions. We're joined by Judge Randy Shelton from the 279th District Court in Jefferson County. Judge, so good seeing you.
Good to see you too.
Hey, Judge, okay, look, this first question comes from Mike. So he asked, my landlord refuses to make necessary repairs and won't respond to my maintenance request. Is there anything I can do legally?
Yes. First, you should send the landlord a certified letter requesting that the repairs be made in a reasonable amount of time. And generally, reasonable is about 7 days. If this doesn't work, then you must send a second certified letter letting the landlord know that you intend to do one of 3 things. You can either make the repairs and withhold the cost of the repairs from your rent. You may break the lease, or you can actually sue the landlord for making these repairs. More information can be found about how to do all this on the Texas Attorney General Renters' Rights website.
All right, Judge, that's good information right there. Of course, the second question, they asked, my son's mom keeps denying court-ordered visitations. What legal steps can I take to enforce the order without escalating conflict?
Well, first of all, get evidence that the mom is denying the visitation, and that could be just taking a photograph, a witness, something like that. And you must go to the designated location at the date and the time of the visitation, even if she contacts you and tells you that she's not gonna be there. You should always document at least 3 of these denied visits. Then you can file a motion for contempt for the denial of these visitation periods. You might need a lawyer to assist you with that. And a person found in contempt of violating this order could be sentenced to jail or ordered to pay a fine. And in addition, you could get makeup time for the days that you missed.
And a third question from Erica, and this comes actually because we've had a lot of high winds here lately in Southeast Texas. She says, my tree fell and damaged my neighbor's car. Who is legally responsible for the repairs, and does it matter whether the tree was healthy or already known hazard?
It does matter. If the owner of the tree, the person that owns the property where the tree is, knew or should have known that the tree was a hazard, then the owner is responsible for those repairs. But if the tree looks healthy, even if it's on someone else's property, the owner may not be responsible. Just because a tree falls does not mean the owner of the tree has to pay the expenses.
Great right there. And also the last question comes from Olivia. She asked, I have a neighbor that lives across the street who plays loud music throughout the night. So at what point does noise legally become a nuisance, and what legal options do I have?
Good question. Some counties and cities do have a noise ordinance. And for example, Beaumont, the Beaumont Noise Ordinance prohibits noise beyond the property line in residential areas over 55 decibels during the day and 50 decibels at night. And in non-residential areas, 70 decibels during the day and 65 at night. People operating a car with one of those bass reverberation devices are in violation of the ordinance if the noise is audible at 50 feet or over.
Excellent, Judge, because we all know that neighbors, hey, some of them like to party, they like to have a good time, and sometimes they need to kind of tone it down when it gets to a certain hour. Well, we appreciate you for joining us today. Have yourself a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
All right.
And Southeast Texas residents, they are walking for a cause. Coming up next, Eric Jones has the story of the Lupus Walk in Beaumont this weekend. Plus, Lollapalooza is back. The full lineup is here, and it's bringing big headliners and fresh faces to the Chicago stage. Your trending news is coming up. Your time is 7:12.
Share your pics and video with 12 News. Just go to the Near Me tab inside the 12 News Now app and click Share with Us.
We begin with breaking news.
The Union Pacific train derailed. Story 5 News reporter Derek Jones. Derek, what are you seeing tonight?
We have live team coverage tonight at breaking it all down.
Hardin County Sheriff shares he could face charges in Hardin County.
We're continuing to follow developing news.
Coming up right there behind me is an ambulance that is running hot.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
After my injury, I lost my sense of purpose.
I lost the ability to tuck my daughters into bed.
Homes for Our Troops builds specially adapted homes with features that allow our veterans to function independently and focus on their recovery and family. This life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free.
Homes for Our Troops gave me a home where I can be a dad.
Homes for Our Troops gave me a brighter future.
We need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Learn more at hfotusa.org.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now, weekdays noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. At 12 News, we don't just cover this community, we're part of it. That's why we care so deeply about getting it right. Because when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves to vote, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart.
I am just so grateful.
Oh my gosh.
Through human storytelling that stays with you long after the moment passes. And at 12 News, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Beaumont.
Whether it's tonight or 55 years down the road.
Find your new furry friend with the 12 News Pet of the Week every Friday on 12 News.
Your stories covered by the team you trust. Watch 12 News at 10 and stream free on 12 News Plus.
Welcome back to Daybreak here on 12 News Plus. And this weekend, Southeast Texas residents are going to come together for a walk that's about more than just exercise. It's about raising awareness for a disease that often goes unseen. Our 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he's in studio with more. Derek?
Mark, the Walk to End Lupus is happening this Saturday in Beaumont at Terrell Park, bringing out survivors, families, and supporters. Organizers say the event helps raise awareness for lupus, a chronic autoimmune disease that affects more than 1 million people each year. For many in Southeast Texas, access to care remains a challenge, with some patients forced to travel out of town for specialized treatment. Event chairperson Jessica Buchanan says the need for local resources is one of the reasons this walk matters so much.
There was not enough resources here for me to get the treatment that I needed, so I often spent time going back and forth to Houston to get the treatment that I needed, and ultimately I ended up moving to Houston. So this walk brings awareness that there are people here that need those resources. There are people here that need the doctors to come here and do those practices so that we can get the resources we need in Beaumont.
The event will also feature a family-friendly kids zone with activities for all ages, and organizers say even small donations can help support research and improve access to care. Registration at Terrell Park, it starts at 7:30 a.m. and the walk begins at 9 a.m. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
Outside, we're looking at mostly clear skies, looking pretty good out there. We see a few clouds off in the distance. And we'll see mostly sunny skies as we go through the afternoon. Temperatures are going to be into the 40s for this morning, but we'll get up into the upper 70s, around 80 for later on this afternoon. Here's our Roofing 911 live Skycam network, currently showing 52 degrees over at the Horseman's Western Store in Orange. Humidity at 96% with a north wind at about 3 miles an hour. Temperature right now, we're looking at a lot of 40s, from 48 in Beaumont to officially 48 in Orange, 47 in Silsbee. Kirbyville's at 45, Jasper's at 43. Showing 51 in Port Arthur, and right now in Woodville we have a temperature of about 50. Winds are calm across the entire area, really not much of a wind chill, so that's some good news. A lightweight jacket will probably be fine. You won't need a coat or anything like that. We have some light winds here and there across Southeast Texas, and you can see a few clouds kind of trying to work through the area, but that's about it. We'll go mostly sunny today. High pressure is going to keep us high and dry as we go through not only the next couple of days, but through your weekend and through at least half of next week. So as we take a look at our futurecast, showing mostly sunny skies, temperatures climbing. We're going to be up there into the lower 70s by lunchtime, and then we'll shoot up to the upper 70s for today, close to about 80 degrees, if not about 80, 81 up towards the lakes area for this afternoon. Heading into this evening, temperatures dropping off into the 60s, and then eventually tomorrow morning we'll see cool weather, not the chilly stuff we had this morning, but we'll be back into the middle 50s on your Saturday morning, or Friday morning, getting ahead of myself. As we look at the forecast for today, temperatures into the upper 70s, lower 80s, a little bit of a southwesterly wind at 5 to 10. And then for tonight, mostly clear. We're looking at temperatures right around 55, 56, somewhere in that range. And as we check our 7-day forecast, you see this temperatures getting up into the lower 80s for everyone starting tomorrow. And it looks like that's going to be kind of the general rule through the weekend into the middle of next week. Temperatures going to be in the lower to middle 80s, and morning lows going to be hanging out there pretty close to the lower 60s. So we'll see a lot of lower 60s in our forecast all the way through. Looks like at least Wednesday, if not maybe heading into maybe the end of next week as well. Just don't see much rain. We could use a little bit. I'm not talking about a ton of rainfall, but a little bit here and there, and it's just not enough cards right now, at least through the middle of next week.
A little sprinkle, just real quick,
maybe
huh?
Maybe a little drop, not a sprinkle.
Oh, okay.
Well, a little bit more than a sprinkle.
Well, you said a little rain.
A little drop.
Oh, okay, a drip drop.
Drip drop. Drippity drip.
Oh, he's a rapper.
Thank you, Jeff. That's a forecast for you. Okay. 7:19 right now. We're going to do some trending news here on 12 News Plus. And ever waited at your door for your package as soon as you hit pay? Well, or I should say, have you ever wanted your package to arrive at your door as soon as you hit pay?
Absolutely.
Now, Amazon is making that dream a reality.
With 1 hour and 3 hour delivery, hundreds of cities across the U.S. can get groceries, gadgets, our last minute gifts almost instantly. I be needing some fits real quick.
Okay.
Prime members get ultra fast delivery, and non-members can still get in on the action for a fee. It's instant gratification at its finest. Order it and it could be at your doorstep before you even finish your coffee. Amazon's new delivery options are basically making patience optional. Your packages unstoppable. I'm wondering though, what will that process look like for us here in Beaumont?
I hope it's just drones just dropping stuff all over the place, because that would be funny. But
I just really wonder how fast they can really get that out to you.
yeah, I wonder if this is going to be more for like bigger markets where they have maybe more infrastructure there with Amazon. Absolutely, but I'm sure it's coming before you know it. We'll see.
Well, one of the biggest music festivals in the world has announced its lineup for this year's event.
Yeah, Lollapalooza in Chicago has the 2026 lineup out, and there are some big names headlining. I'm old, so I might not know all these names. Pop singers Charlie XCX, Lorde, Tate McRae, and Olivia Dean, as well as rock bands like the Smashing Pumpkins and the XX. Lola will be held July 30th through August 2nd at Grant Park. Pre-sale starts later this morning at 9 o'clock. Did I get all those right?
I think so.
Good.
But Olivia Dean, wow, I mean, she is a booming new artist right now.
Excellent.
So happy to see her as one of those names announced.
I wonder how much tickets cost. I love festivals, like I love going over to Jazz Fest, for example, in New Orleans, because you can see some really big acts for an affordable price.
Yeah. All right,
We'll
there
see.
you go.
All right, now to the verdict in the case against a famous rapper, Afro Man, love that guy, sued by law enforcement.
The lawsuit stemmed over his music video depicting officers. Here's ABC Selfie Flag.
The rapper known as Afro Man is celebrating after a jury sided with him in a lawsuit brought by sheriff's deputies in Ohio, who claimed he was wrong to mock them in music videos.
We did it, America! Yeah, we did it! Freedom of speech! Right on!
The dispute dates back to 2022 when deputies raided his house as part of a drug case. No charges were filed, but Afro Man, whose real name is Joseph Foreman, protested, saying the deputies damaged his home.
Mama's limit pound cake.
He then made a music video using home surveillance footage of the raid. The deputies sued, accusing Foreman of using their likeness without permission.
It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what?
The deputies say Foreman's insults in the video caused them mental distress and led to harassment and death threats. They demanded millions of dollars in damages.
He said it like they were facts. The tears, the agony from some of these witnesses, don't forget that.
But Foreman's lawyers argued the deputies are public figures subject to public scrutiny, calling this a case of free speech and saying this about his client.
Look at that suit. Does this look like a man who thinks that everybody's going to assume that everything he's saying is fact? This is a reasonable person in the eyes of the community is going to say, it's a song. It's a joke.
After hours of deliberations, the jury finding in favor of Foreman.
This suit stands for the freedom of speech and the American dream.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Time now, 7:23, taking a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. You're watching 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus.
Another is flammable.
Stories are everywhere, in your neighborhood, across our city. We're here to bring you the ones that matter, from breaking news to the weather impact alerts that can change your day.
The potential for severe weather.
So you're not just informed, you're prepared. We live here, we're part of this community, and we take seriously the trust you place in us. These are your stories, covered by the team you know and trust. Watch 12 News at 10 and stream free on 12 News Plus.
Serious, man? I actually drive better when I'm honest. If anything, I'm more careful. More chill. More relaxed. It just helps me focus. It just helps me focus, you know?
I'm Eric Roberts, and I want to talk to you about giving the gift of life. Right now, over 100,000 people are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. More than 90,000 of them need a kidney. One organ donor can save up to 8 lives. To learn more about organ donation and how you can help, visit mnitf.org. Become an organ donor today.
Southeast Texas is filled with amazing stories, both on and off the field, and you can get all the action on your schedule. That's 12 News Plus. Add it to your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV today. What's better than free local sports?
Are rising costs and mounting debt leaving your wallet feeling just a little too thin? 12 News is offering tips on saving money and balancing your budget to get your finances back on track. Money matters, only on 12 News.
It's chilly this morning at the bus stop. You're looking at temperatures in the 40s, so bundle up a little bit. 68 though at recess, and then 79 on the way home. Put that jacket back in the backpack there. Coastal marine forecast for today: southwesterly wind at 5 to 10 knots, seas about 1 foot. Only high tide left for the day is 4:19 this afternoon. Our sunrise was at 7:20, so a few minutes ago. Our sunset's at 7:27 for tonight. Right now at Texas Point, south winds around 10. Choppy on the inland lakes and bays for today.
And coming up on Daybreak here on 12 News Plus, 12 News is your Mardi Gras headquarters, and what we know this morning about Mardi Gras and its return to Port Arthur.
Plus, as youth crime rises across Southeast Texas, one judge says there's a better path than prison. How probation programs are helping turn young lives around.
And 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he's going to be live in studio about the event happening this weekend to help fight lupus.
7:26 right now, taking a live look outside this morning. We'll have more news and weather in just a few minutes.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. It is now 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. New details emerged in court Wednesday in Cody Arnold's murder trial. He's being tried for his role in 16-year-old Caitlin Stone's murder in 2022. Chelsea Shipp accepted a 40-year plea deal for shooting and killing Stone. An affidavit shows Stone was Arnold's girlfriend and he didn't report the murder. Investigators now believe Stone may have been pregnant when she was killed. Testimony is set to resume today.
Port Neches Groves High School was evacuated Wednesday morning due to a small gas leak in the kitchen. The district later posted to Facebook that the leak was being repaired. Now officials, they initially planned to resume classes as normal after the fire department responded, but students were ultimately sent home out of an abundance of caution. And Beaumont police, they've confirmed to 12 News that all 4 intersections of Walden Road and Fennett Road are shut down due to an accident. Now our crew was on the scene. They saw 2 18-wheelers crash into each other. We are not aware of any injuries in this breaking news, and police, they have advised that they do not know when the intersection of Walden and Fennett are going to reopen. So expect delays and find a different route this morning.
All right, it is 7:31. Let's take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. Sun is rising there from our view from the 12 News studio cameras. Jeff, 48 degrees now, so we know it'll heat up a bit more later on.
Yeah, temperatures today, we're going to climb up close to about 80 degrees, especially up towards the lakes area. But right now, with the exception of Port Arthur at 51, everybody's dropped back into the 40s. So definitely a jacket out there for this morning would be a good idea. 43 right now in Jasper, chilly 44 in Kirbyville, 48 in Woodville, Silsbeek, orange at 47, and Beaumont right now showing 46 degrees. Outside, we do have a little bit of cloud cover, especially up towards the lakes area. Around the triangle here, we're seeing mostly clear skies, but we have a little patch of clouds moving through the lakes area. This is a view over Jasper, brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And we'll go with mostly sunny skies through the day. Temperatures start off in the 40s, but look, we'll be in the upper 50s by 9 a.m., and then we'll be in the lower 70s by noon, and then after that, upper 70s, close to about 80 degrees today with southwesterly winds at 5 to 10. Looks like even warmer conditions for Friday and even warmer than that over the weekend with highs in the 80s. We'll have your 7-day forecast and weather.
All right, Jeff. Well, 12 News first shared with you on Wednesday that Port Arthur leaders, they are one step closer to bringing Mardi Gras back to downtown.
The festival has been gone for 7 years, but city officials are now working on a new plan. The city is working with the Convention and Visitors Bureau on a plan to revive it as early as 2027. The goal to boost tourism and bring more activity back to the downtown area.
Excited about it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see how this is going to work for us in 2027. We're looking at carnivals, festivals, vendors, everything that we could possibly do. Music, bands.
And the proposal still needs approval from City Council, and leaders say that several logistics they must be worked out before it becomes official. That City Council meeting is scheduled for next Tuesday.
The city documents 12 News obtained show leaders are working on a separate Mardi Gras different from the one held in Beaumont. This puts the Port Arthur Convention and Visitors Bureau in charge of organizing everything from parades to vendors. Port Arthur Mayor Charlotte Moses, you just saw her taking to social media late Wednesday night saying this is always something she wanted to do.
The CVB board has agreed to be able to host or be the overseer of Mardi Gras. And so now for years to come, years beyond me, years beyond anybody, Mardi Gras will forever be Port Arthur's festival. That's the part that makes me happy, is that nobody can ever come back and slip the rug right from under us.
Back when Mardi Gras was in Port Arthur, you can see those streets downtown packed with music, food, and nonstop festivities. But since the festival left, some business owners say they're still feeling the impact. 12 News reporter Daniela Estrada-Palau explains what's changed since then and what its comeback could mean.
What was once a lively Port Arthur filled with music, entertainment, and Cajun celebration is now quiet and still. Business owners like Punarbasi Sandy, who run Jaws Barbecue, a restaurant that's been in Port Arthur for 45 years, says when Mardi Gras was in town, she would get loads of customers.
I gain a lot more customers, but after they take away the Mardi Gras from here, we don't get that support anymore.
Sandy says with Mardi Gras, she'd expect around 25 to 40 more customers than usual. Numbers she wants, but might not need since she has grown her legacy.
But the business is doing okay without the Mardi Gras because I've been there for 45 years.
If City Council approves the possibility of reviving Mardi Gras in Port Arthur, newer businesses like Darlene's says this could also widen their customer base and help them grow as new entrepreneurs.
If it came back to Port Arthur for 2027, we have an opportunity to have other folks sample our food.
Mardi Gras Southeast Texas had taken place in Port Arthur for nearly 30 years.
The hurricanes caused a lot of damage, so a lot of folks wasn't able to put their businesses back together and pulled out. But Mardi Gras also was a part of them making that extra money to put their businesses back together.
After Mardi Gras Southeast Texas left, so did the possibilities for businesses to pick themselves up.
So it hurt them quite a bit when Mardi Gras left.
Everything was down, nothing coming to Port Arthur. They come one time and they disappear.
That was Daniela Tuatapalau reporting. The ultimate decision for Mardi Gras to come back to Port Arthur still lies in City Council's hands. That meeting will take place next Tuesday. Now, we also heard from Laura Childress with Mardi Gras Southeast Texas on Wednesday.
Yeah, she clarified that their organization is entirely separate from anything that's being planned in Port Arthur next year.
It is a totally independent organization that is proposing to hold a festival in Port Arthur and has no affiliation with our nonprofit organization or the charities that we support.
And Childress says that planning for their event in Beaumont next year, that's going to start soon, where they will address the concerns from this year's celebration at Ford Park and work to mitigate the factors that were problematic. All right, in other news this morning, we continue to track ways that Southeast Texas leaders are battling youth crime. Jefferson County Judge Raquel West is offering some offenders a chance to help themselves through probation. She says it's the alternative to sending them straight to prison. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman, she spoke to Judge West, who says that it gives them a chance to turn their lives around.
I want to give them an opportunity if you feel like that's going to help, and so that they can be productive members of our society and our community.
Jefferson County 252nd District Court Judge Raquel West says teens and young adults find their way into her courtroom on a weekly basis.
The number one issue, in my opinion, as to what's going on is these kids have not ever had consequences.
But instead of tossing them in jail and throwing away the key, Judge West is turning to probation as a tool for rehabilitation, giving young offenders a chance to change their lives.
The deferred probation, and so that's a type of probation where the offender does not have a conviction on their record. And if they complete their probation satisfactorily, then they'll never have that felony conviction.
She says other probations like ISF, Intermediate Sanctioned Facilities, offers 90-day cognitive and substance abuse treatment.
It's a locked down facility, and it is classes all about thinking and making better decisions.
She says Safe P is a 6-month program that specializes in those dealing with substance abuse.
When they get out, they have aftercare, and they're required to follow through with all of the aftercare and halfway houses.
We spoke to Joe Evans, Executive Director of Jefferson County Revision. He says many times youth don't realize that a life of crime is not the way to go.
Understand that while this may be okay now, you'll be an adult one day with a family and children, and you'll need to raise them.
And that was Ebony Coleman reporting. Judge West says that she also wants people to know that the court system, they can give a defendant up to 10 years probation, but if they violate it, then the entire punishment range, it is at the judge's disposal.
The partial government shutdown is affecting TSA employees who are currently not being paid. At San Diego International Airport, TSA officers are still showing up to keep travelers safe. But behind the scenes, many struggling to make ends meet. Karina Vargas reports.
This is Alondra Galvin, a single mom and a TSA officer currently working without pay because of the partial government shutdown.
Very frustrating for everything from financial restraint to mental instability. I mean, there's times where I'm like, at night, it's like, what am I going to do?
Galvin has been working as a TSA officer for 2 years. She said she's been trying to bounce back from the longest government shutdown in U.S. history last year, where she went without pay for 43 days. Now it's happening all over again. But for her, this shutdown is more than just politics. It's personal.
I'm a single mom, so right now my son usually goes to spring break camps, and I can't afford that right now because, I mean, there's no money coming in, and it's just, I don't know what to do anymore. There's no babysitter.
The union representing TSA workers held a food bank for them. Galvin says anything helps.
It's just eggs and milk and some vegetables and some rice, but I mean, for me, that's what we eat on a daily basis.
Galvin says she's decided to continue going to work, but she doesn't know how much longer she can handle it. She's already starting to look for other jobs to fall back on because financially, she's being stretched thin.
I'm up to my last, almost $100. I just put gas in my car. That was $50. I don't know how I'm going to do it within the next 2 weeks.
The Department of Homeland Security says since the shutdown started, over 350 TSA officers have left the force and more continue to call out. For TSA workers like Galvin, what she wants is for this to end.
Up next, 12 News reporter Derek Jones joins us in studio to talk about an event to help fight lupus.
Life doesn't pause when you're sick. Vaccines against respiratory illnesses can help protect you. Depending on your age and health status, it may be recommended for you to get vaccinations for flu, COVID-19, RSV, or pneumococcal infection. Vaccines can help keep you from having a rough time. Find out which respiratory vaccines are recommended for you and where to get them.
Now is the time to be inside.
Thousands are still without power in Jasper and Newton County. We have live team coverage spread out all across Southeast Texas tonight.
In good hands as well because of the emergency management office there.
Knocked over a space heater.
But you'll expected to see plenty more rain today. So
the power was actually out at about 4 to 5.
A couple of minutes ago that they're out of power.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with 12 News and 12 News Plus.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
At Daybreak, mornings start before the sun comes up.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us here.
This is our home where we live, work, and stay connected to our community. When we bring you the news each morning, we're talking to our neighbors.
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
From overnight news to weather and traffic that shape your day, our team keeps you informed, prepared, and connected.
It is a symbol of progress.
Make the move to Beaumont's #1 streaming newscast. Watch anytime, anywhere, weekdays 5 to 8.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards, every month on 12 News.
Welcome back. A second grade teacher turned to some unexpected experts before her wedding her very own students. NBC's Haley Jackson has the story of what kids believe is the best advice for marriage.
For second grade teacher Clarissa Trevino, her most personal class assignment yet.
I love my students, absolutely love them. They're the funniest kids. I just wanted to have them involved with something with the wedding.
When her boyfriend Omar proposed, Trevino immediately started thinking about how to include the class. So she turned to them for marriage tips.
The marriage advice I give my teacher is care for each other and love her.
To give her flowers. Get her Starbucks every day.
Not eating each other's snacks.
Oh, yeah.
That one's very important too.
Now, happily on their honeymoon, the couple says they've already started putting the advice to good use.
To take her on a date and go to a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, like he's going places. He knows. And I did just that when we got to Vegas where we had our wedding. I went ahead and got the corner table at the Eiffel Tower.
Trevino posting the words of wisdom on TikTok, where it now has 500,000 views.
The marriage advice I give my teacher is to be kind and love each other.
You know, these are 7 and 8-year-olds talking about, love is kind, so it was really nice to kind of see how they thought. Kids are amazing.
Outside we have some cloud cover, but most of the area is seeing some mostly clear skies. But we do have a little bit of cloud cover up towards the lakes area. Here's the camera up in Jasper looking at the Jasper County Courthouse. And then we shoot down here to Port Arthur, and you can see mostly clear skies as all we see is a little bit of smoke. Excuse me, a little smoke off in the distance. That's about it. This camera brought to you by Market Basket, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Temperatures are chilly this morning. We're down to 43 right now in Jasper, 44 in Kirbyville, 47 in Silsbee and Orange, 45 in Beaumont, 48 in Woodville, and we're showing 51 there in Port Arthur. Winds are calm this morning, so we don't have to worry about too much of a wind. Just a little bit of a jacket should help. And you can see some of those clouds that are kind of working their way right down the Sabine River through East Texas, and some of those have reached down up towards Jasper. So a little bit of cloud cover. It's not going to stick around all day, so we'll see mostly sunny skies today, lots of sunshine, and these temperatures are going to warm up pretty quickly this morning. We go from the 40s to already in the 60s by 10 a.m., and then lunchtime will be in the 70s, and from there we move up into the middle to upper 70s. So it looks like a nice afternoon, very comfortable, plenty of sun, a little bit of a south wind between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. Temperatures tonight, we start off in the 70s through the first half of the evening, and then by 10 o'clock we'll be back into the middle to lower 60s. And tomorrow morning it's going to be cool, not the chilly weather we're seeing this morning, but we should see generally into the middle 50s starting off on Friday. So forecast a little bit more detail. You can see southwesterly winds at 5 to 10, mostly sunny, and temperatures there anywhere from 78 near the coast to about 80 up in the lakes. For tonight, mostly clear skies, south winds at 5 to 10, and temperatures generally around about 54 to about 57, right there in the middle 50s as we head into Friday morning. Friday afternoon, a little warmer at 81, and we'll see 80s all the way through the weekend into next week as well, anywhere between 81 to 84. Most days will be about 82 or 83. And then our morning lows will also be a little warmer. Instead of the 40s and 50s, it looks like starting Saturday morning, our lows only dip down into the 60s, at least here in the Triangle. We could see some upper 50s towards the lakes, I should say that. But generally some lower 60s through the weekend into early next week with those highs in the 80s. And I wish we could get a little bit of rain just because we need it from time to time, but there is no rain in our forecast through about Wednesday of next week, and some of the longer term models showing maybe all of next week looks dry again.
The Walk to End Lupus this weekend isn't just about raising awareness, it's also about bringing the community together.
Yeah, there's going to be something for everyone, including families with young children. Our 12 News reporter Derek Jonesy joins us in studio with more details. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Mark and Tia. This year, organizers are adding a family-friendly touch to the walk at Terrell Park with a special kids zone designed to get everyone involved. Kids Are Kids Beaumont West is partnering with the event, providing activities like bounce houses, face painting, and hands-on games for children. The goal to create a fun environment while still supporting a serious cause. Chelsea Gatlin, director at Kids Are Kids Beaumont West, says supporting the cause is personal, having watched her longtime friend Jessica Buchanan battle lupus for years. She says raising awareness is critical to helping others get the support and resources they need.
So I've known Jessica since I was a toddler, and seeing how strong she's able to be during her lupus experience, how she's had to change her life because of the lupus illness, and she doesn't let it defeat her. I love seeing the strength that she is able to carry through.
Organizers say every dollar raised helps support lupus research and brings much needed resources to Southeast Texas. Their goal is to raise $15,000 for lupus awareness. Registration at Terrell Park, it starts at 7:30 a.m. and the walk begins at 9. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
With gas prices surging, it's forcing tough choices for families. Reporter Alex McClune shows the length some drivers are going just to fill up.
Consumers in Seattle are paying as much as $125 at the pump, while others are just trying to get by.
This is 2 months.
Ben and Dorsha in Seattle hope $1.65 is enough to get them nearly 90 miles south to Chehalis, but not before making stops along the way to find cheaper prices.
We're risking it.
And that's worth it?
Yeah, for us.
It's a better gas deal.
Yeah,
You know?
from what we have here in Seattle.
And this was the totals from last week.
If you drive north of the city and buy 8 gallons of gas at about $45, the Point convenience store is offering a free hot dog, bottle of water, and a bag of candy. But June Hansen says the free M&Ms have ran out.
We don't want to lose any business. We know gas prices are high and we can't control that, but we can control keeping our customers.
As Hansen prepares to continue the deal into Easter, AAA says the national average price for a gallon of regular gas is topping off at $3.84, $5.07 for diesel. Washington is seeing averages over $5, about $1 more than a month ago. Western Washington is seeing the worst of it, while the east side of the state is noticeably cheaper.
We're kind of worried.
With gas prices climbing, consumers like Dorsha and Ben are looking at what to cut from their budgets.
This is too much for like ordinary people.
When Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus, we'll have more news and weather in your morning rush out.
In my group, I took the best photos. We were always trying to look cute online. That's how I met him. His DM asked if I was a model or if I wanted to be. Asked for more pictures and then to meet up. I thought I was in control, but it was always him. Girlhood should be selfies and silly filters, not sex traffickers hitting you up on social.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
Step up in the building, yeah, we don't got no ceilings. Get them out their feelings, yeah, I'm taking out the villains. Got them on their feet, jaws dropping. History's revealing and they know they can't stop it. Woo! Watch me take flight. It's a different sight when you take it to this height. They can stop the freedom that I got. Feeling like an eagle, watch me take it to the top. A scene you can't crop, and you know this.
It's 4 words no parent should ever hear.
Your child is sick. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference.
Healing begins with happiness. Learn more at starlight.org.
Texas News Now, one power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. Weekdays, noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
And welcome back to Daybreak, 7:54 right now. It's time for your morning rush.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. Port Arthur Mayor Charlotte Moses says she's pushing to bring Mardi Gras back to the city. And now the plan is gaining momentum. The Convention and Visitors Bureau unanimously voted to support the festival. The goal is a full return in 2027, featuring parades, live music, and vendors downtown. The proposal heads to City Council next week, as leaders say Port Arthur deserves its own festival again.
New details emerged in court Wednesday in Coney Arnold's murder trial. Now he is being tried for his role in 16-year-old Caitlin Stone's murder back in 2022. While Chelsea Shipp accepted a 40-year plea deal for shooting and killing Stone, an affidavit now showing that Stone was Arnold's girlfriend and he didn't report the murder. Investigators now believe that Stone may have been pregnant when she was killed. Testimony is set to resume today.
Port Neches Groves High School was evacuated Wednesday morning around 9:20 due to a small gas leak in the kitchen. The district later posted to Facebook that the leak was being repaired. Officials initially planned to resume classes as normal after the fire department responded, but at 10:45, students were sent home out of an abundance of caution.
We're in the 40s this morning. You'll need the jacket before you walk out the door. It's a little bit chilly. Won't need it long though. As we get towards mid-morning, we'll already see some 60s and then highs close to 80 degrees for today. So it's a nice afternoon. Should be beautiful if you have any outdoor activities. Go for a walk, bike ride, maybe just sit down on the front porch. Not looking bad at all. And even warmer as we head towards the weekend. Not a big warm up, but we'll be back into the lower to maybe a middle 80 here or there as we head towards Monday. We do see a weak front coming at us on Monday, but unfortunately that's not going to bring us any rain or cool us off much. We'll continue to see highs in the 80s, and those morning lows are going to be very mild from lower to middle 60s out there starting Saturday through about Wednesday. So just a nice dry forecast, pretty comfortable forecast as well. If you have any outdoor activities you want to get in, this is the time to do it.
Reasons to Smile, sponsored by Reisinger and Vols Orthodontic Specialists.
All right, here's a reason to smile. Westbrook High School, they're celebrating their one-act play one big Wednesday, and it is headed to the bi-district round. Students, they earned 2 All-Star Cast Awards, 1 Honorable Mention, and a Tech Award. We're seeing a lot of Southeast Texas theater groups that are doing well right now in these competitions. So congratulations to the cast and crew and directors there on a fantastic performance. Way to go, guys.
One of those extracurricular activities that go kind of, they're a last thought in high school, but then when you see people become big famous actors and actresses, you're like, oh, that was cool.
That's how they got their start right there.
Exactly.
All right, well, thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
We'll be back at 11.
Have a great day.